The woman's screams echoed through the house. They joined the cacophony of screams that could be heard around the city. The Inquisition had arrived, hunting like a lion. Non-believers had to be found. Yet another scream could be heard, different from the others, younger, much younger. Susanna had done it. She'd borne her second son. The Inquisitor had arrived and wanted to see her, whose home was so far away and whose heart was so heavy. Susanna knew he had been searching for her for months, and without her sacrifice, he would even take her children. Her companion understood. Tabit loved her. She could trust him with her children. The door burst open. There he was, the Inquisitor. She knew Gonzalo only too well, and she feared him. Susanna knew what he wanted. The key. He was looking for the others, too. She knew that. But she would never give them up. Yet another scream echoed through the city.
Test Flight 19. The safety net is secure. The weather is on our side, even if it is a bit too windy. The invention is ready up on the hill.
You are testing my patience, Morales.
We'll be underway in no time, Senor Conde. I'll speak briefly to Conde and my brother. Then we'll begin our test flight. According to my calculations, Ramon ought to touch down again here. The net is just in case. A net, just in case the flying machine flies further than expected. Barcelona! I can even see our workshop from here. A net, just in case the cliff makes the wind here particularly favorable. In theory, this is the perfect place for our experiment, but from a practical point of view, it's extremely dangerous. But in an emergency, the net will withstand a lot. This tree is sturdy enough to hold the net. Dark clouds are forming on the horizon. I hope there isn't a storm this evening. The gentle hills of Catalonia, my home. That's a sacrificial stone in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary. If you don't cross yourself here and are caught, you might end up nailed to the cross yourself. That path leads down to Barcelona. We drove our invention onto the meadow with the cart. I only hope that no one saw us doing it. If Ramon gets a running start, he should stay in the air for 4 or 5 cubits. That should be enough to convince the Count to give us another advance. My brother Ramon. I hope he didn't eat too much for breakfast. Ramon?
Yes, Theodore?
Today we are going to crack it, Ramon. Today we take off. This is our day.
It'll be fine. I have my talisman with me.
Everything's perfect. The hill is steep enough and the wind is blowing favorably.
Anything that doesn't end like last time is a success. The grazes have only just healed.
We can swap if you like, but then you'll have to explain the technology behind it to the Count.
And you'll have to overcome your vertigo.
I'm not scared of heights. It's just a kind of nausea
that you get when the air is thin. It's fine. The stars are aligned well. That's the main thing.
I went through all the calculations again last night. There's nothing that can go wrong. In theory.
Then let's get going. The Count is waiting.
El Conde, our esteemed Count and only client. A miser on whose money and benevolence we are reliant. Senor Conde?
What?
Everything is ready for our first test flight.
I hope it's clear that it is the flight, not the test, that I'm paying for.
Absolutely clear.
And that your sacrilegious inventions could land you before the court of the Inquisition.
We know that.
Then perhaps you also know that the Count of Florence has increased his wager and has employed a certain Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Perhaps you mean the Da Vinci who's better known for body snatching for what he calls anatomical studies than for craftsmanship in building flying machines.
The very one. And I hope that you are soon more well known for your practical successes than your impractical theories.
I hope so too, Conde. I assure you that you've backed the right horse with us.
If it's a flying horse, yes. Otherwise, you'll spend the rest of your lives trotting around on a Spanish donkey.
We'll do it.
I expect nothing less.
You can start when ready.
Oh.
Oh! Ramon! Ramon?
I'm alive!
A disaster. You two are nothing more than charlatans.
But the invention flew.
Invention? This terrible contraption is only suited as fuel for your funeral pyre.
Please, esteemed Conde, I have many more ideas on how to improve the machine. Think of the money you've already invested.
I'll give you one more week. And if I lose my wager thanks to your incompetence, then I'll make sure that the court of the Inquisition shows interest in your heretical experiments.
Our workshop cart. We transported the flying machine and our tools with it. Our tools. Somewhere around here should be... Ah, yes. There's a knife there too. Should be useful. I'll take it. I could take the side pieces off and use them as a ladder, but they are very short. Let's see what I can do with these. Those are 2 rails from the sides of the workshop cart. Exactly 7 rungs. Ramon would say that's better than 13, but fortunately I'm not superstitious. I don't need the whole net. Reminds me a bit of a rope ladder. Ramon's guardian angel deserves a medal. Ramon, Hold on tight. I'll soon have you out of there.
Good. I thought you were going to just leave me hanging on.
Dear brother, what luck! I feared the worst.
Not this time. I'd love to get my feet back on solid ground now.
Yes, of course. I'll get you up here straight away. Just a minute. Hold on!
Yes, hurry up!
Here, Ramon, a rope ladder.
Well done, Theodore. Can you tie it up somewhere?
That should hold.
Thank you, brother. You saved me.
I'm sorry. I miscalculated the launch angle. There's something not quite right with the whole construction.
No real harm done. Good that I had my talisman with me.
You really are one of a kind, dear brother. Come, now we have to salvage the flying machine.
I think you'll have to do that on your own. My leg won't hold up.
Oh, is it painful?
Only when I put weight on it. I have to lie down.
Yes, relax. I'll do this. I'll take my rope ladder with me. The workshop cart is sure to need its rungs back at some point. I could also cut down the tree to get to the flying machine, but this way is much more dignified for an inventor. Good. Then perhaps there's something that can be used again. The test flight was actually a success. It only got a bit out of control. We can sort that out.
Hey, Theodore, I'll help you in a minute. I've got something really important to do first, though.
We've got exactly 1 week before the Count has us put in thumbscrews. I don't think there can be anything that's more important. Hello, Ramon? Always the same. All right then. The invention of the century is going to have to be made by just one genius. And what if the material is too heavy? In theory, wood should also fly, if it has enough lift. A light material would, of course, be better. It's definitely something to do with lift. That's the crux of the matter. But how can we be independent of the wind's changing mood? Da Vinci designed that huge screw. I wonder if he'll manage to screw himself into the air with it. It must be possible, as long as it turns quickly enough. His parachute design isn't bad either, but in the end it'll only get him from up there to down here, not from down here to up there. As long as Da Vinci hasn't found a solution, my chances aren't too bad. This wooden construction is much too heavy. I'm not at all surprised that this thing didn't fly. We used to play catch with this pig's bladder. It's dried and blown up, sturdy and watertight. And I guess it's easier to get into the air than any kind of wood construction. I've already noted down this idea. A loading crane. I need that if I want to get heavy things onto the roof. That's my water pressure machine. Water is supposed to shoot out of a hole when you press it down, but it hasn't got a hole yet. One of our first flying machines, but this wooden construction is much too heavy. I'm not at all surprised that this thing didn't fly. The workshop is directly under this large and heavy wooden hatch. A leather hose. We only recently had it made. The last one burnt to a cinder on the forge. One of Ramon's Egyptian artifacts. A cross with a loop, or a cog. Uncle Tabit sent this letter a couple of weeks ago.
My dear Ramon, my trip to North Africa was successful, and I shall shortly be back in our wonderful Barcelona. I found an extremely interesting artifact there. It would appear to be only part of a larger piece, but I think you will find it very precious nonetheless. When I'm back in town, you can come and pick it up from my shop whenever you like. Farewell. Uncle Tabit, Valencia, 7th of April, 1514.
One would normally expect an inventor to note down ideas for inventions. But my brother is a little bit different.
The Ankh, crux ansata in Latin, Egyptian symbol for life and also immortality. The uraeus more or less means the rearing one, a rearing cobra that Egyptian gods often wear on their foreheads. The uraeus spits fire or poison and punishes those who do not obey the god. It's often associated with a goddess who is supposed to have the head of a lion.
That's a bowl of wood tar. Ramon sticks his old stones together with it. The whole construction has to be extremely light and be able to carry a person. A basket like that would be perfect. Perhaps I should pick up my old idea of an airship again. It wouldn't need the complete hull. It doesn't have to be waterproof, just the framework. That'd be much lighter too. Covered in fabric, it would create a large surface for the wind. But how to get it in the air? That's only possible with an accelerating force plus a cliff. So, wheels on the bottom again? Our workshop cart. We've transported loads of inventions with this. Most recently, it carried the flying machine to the cliffs. The net is still in there. I'll take it. The vacuum balls didn't work. Then perhaps the complete opposite. More air. The more the better. With a wind generator under the wings? A forge, just like you'd find in a smith's workshop, with an integrated smelting furnace. That's the rope and pulley system for operating the bellows. Ramon designed the construction when he was more on the case. The rope is connected to the bellows via 2 pulleys. When you pull on it, it lifts. No, it lowers. I can't remember exactly. Either way, it works. That's a little smelting furnace, for smelting metals in an airtight space. Let's see. Yes, there are still some embers in there. Cartwheels. You can never have enough of them. They make excellent driving cranks for all kinds of things. Fishing rods are made of light and supple wood, the perfect material for wings, or perhaps a whole airship. I've already noted down. What would I do without my pliers? It can't be that hard. I just have to give my ideas some order. A lathe. You can bore holes in wood with it. It's powered by a foot pedal. There's still a lump of calamine on the anvil. That should be in the mineral cupboard. Are those my pliers? They seem to turn up all over the place. Unfortunately, that's all I've got at the moment. There's my dear brother. As always, his thoughts are of a secret Egyptian city from whence all the things that he works on day in and day out perhaps, or perhaps do not come. Ramon? Are you dreaming of utopia again?
I'm searching for it, yes. One day you'll be thankful for this.
For what? That you spent precious working time cleaning artifacts?
That I never lost sight of our goal.
Which goal?
I don't quite know exactly. That's why I'm searching for it.
Could you give me a hand, please?
Later. I have to put this mask together first.
We have to get the flying machine finished. We only have 6 days until the Count sets those torturing fiends on us. I'll be off then. Good idea. I can bore a hole in the lid with that, through which the water can then be forced. That's it. A huge leather bladder full of air, a couple of wings to steer it, and a basket for the pilot. Next I need to get hold of the construction materials. Supple wood, a whole load of leather, and a large basket. Hopefully I can find all that quickly.
Theodore? If you're going out, then pop in at Tabit's place. He's supposed to get back from Africa today, and I'm sure he's brought me something again.
You mean some old mouldy tree root in the shape of an antique vase?
That, or a precious artifact. Thank you, my brother.
I often buy fresh fruit from Hernando. I wonder if something has happened to him. I haven't seen him since the day before yesterday, and the fruit is just rotting away in the heat. This market stall has been closed for weeks. The family who the stall belongs to has emigrated to America, like many others. The basket seller's stall. The heat of the midday sun is trapped under the awnings. Aha! The basket seller is in town. That's fortunate. Hello.
God be praised, Senor Inventor. You're still at large, then.
And why not, pray? I've done nothing wrong.
I've heard otherwise. They say that you're working on an invention which lets a man walk across the skies.
Those are fairy tales.
Exactly. Only Jesus can do such things. And the Church makes sure that nobody else tries to.
Jesus could walk on water, not on air.
So, by that, are you saying that Jesus couldn't have walked on air, even if he had wanted to?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What does a basket cost?
3 silver.
So expensive. Oh. Can we do a deal some other way?
If you could find some way of making it not quite so damned warm here, then I could let you have a basket for just 1 silver.
Do you know anything about the fruit seller?
The last time I saw him was the day before yesterday. I don't know what happened yesterday. I was out and about.
What does a basket cost?
3 silver.
So can we do a deal? Goodbye.
May God's blessings be upon you.
That's where the fisherman and his wife live. They have a small stall at the market. Nice people, actually, even though they sometimes complain about the noise coming from our workshop at night. I mean, it's an inventor's workshop after all. Do I get upset about their fish stinking? My dear Uncle Tabit, a trader through and through. He travels a lot and is always on the lookout for quality goods and even better prices. Hey, Uncle Tabit.
Fyodor, how nice to see you.
How are you? When did you arrive in Barcelona?
This morning I'm feeling a little worn out from the journey. But business is good. And how are things with you?
The last flying machine didn't fly too well again. The Count has set us a final deadline.
Just take care, my boy. The Count is a dangerous man. He has church connections. You need to watch out.
My brother is completely possessed by his Egyptian artifacts.
He always was. He is definitely becoming a true history scholar.
You've been prophesying that for years, but it doesn't lead to anything. He just buries himself deeper and deeper in his books and doesn't help me anymore at all. Please don't keep on bringing him new things.
But if he loves to busy himself with them...
I need 2 bales of the thinnest leather that you have.
I've still got a few bales of camel leather, but I can't hand them over to you just like that. They are very valuable. And you know that since the discovery of the New World, business has not been so good.
How can that be?
Most of our shipping is now on the Atlantic coast, not here on the Mediterranean anymore.
Ramon reckons that you've definitely brought something for him again.
Yes, quite correct. Look, a valuable piece of crystal. Whatever you do, don't drop it.
What's that supposed to be? Looks like half of it's missing.
Yes, there must be other parts that belong with it. But I'm sure Ramon will like it all the same.
See you later.
Yes. Till then, my boy.
Precious Persian carpets. Jewelry boxes made of snakeskin. Very popular in Africa. Egyptian urns. I wonder if they're full. I'll make some time for a cup of tea with Uncle Tabit later. I've got much to do right now. These oriental spices smell good. I wish I could cook. Then I'd know what to do with them. A couple of dusty stone figures. No one wants them. They really do look quite worthless. A couple of dusty... Uncle Tabit, so you've still got that sarcophagus?
Yes, I wanted to delight your brother with it. I dragged the thing right across the ocean with me, and then he doesn't want to have it.
It didn't come from the right region. Yes, I remember. He's only interested in artifacts from the Great Desert close to Egypt.
Your brother is quite strange sometimes.
These stone figures have also been on your shelves for some time now, haven't they?
Yes, they're ugly, aren't they? Nobody wants them. And they keep looking at me like they're laughing. People don't want things made of stone. They want gold.
See you later.
Yes. Till then, my boy.
Map of Terra Nova and Terra Incognita, based loosely on the travel logs of Amerigo Vespucci. Uncle Tabit stores various fabrics and cloths up there. He asked me to invent something to keep the moths out of there years ago. As soon as I've finished the flying machine, I'll get onto that. Ottoman soup bowl and plate. These books are real treasures, elaborately illustrated and decorated. However, completely illegible for me. I can't read Hebrew. Anubis is the jackal-headed Egyptian god of funeral rites. I sometimes pay attention to what Ramon says. What a smell! Arabian coffee. A shirt made of precious Byzantine silk. That's the artifact that Tabit brought for Ramon. A glass lump kind of thingy. Here, that's the artifact that Tabit brought for you.
Fantastic! Show me! Thank you.
So, what is it actually?
A piece of crystal. It belongs to something that's made up of lots of fragments like it.
Well then, best of luck with your investigations. What do you think about the idea of constructing a huge bladder and then pumping it full of air? Of course, the material would have to be extremely thin and supple. We could attach a rope ladder or a basket in which one could sit. I mean, in which you could sit. I'll have to watch it all from the ground, of course. If we push you over the cliff and the wind blows strongly, then it's sure to stay in the air for a while, don't you think?
If we hang this magic amulet on it, then it's sure to work.
I'll be off then. It should be able to withstand a fair amount of heat. A couple of copper coins. That's all I have in the world. Take a couple of copper coins. A pinch of calamine. Exactly. Right in the middle of the embers, and soon the heat will be increased a little bit. A huge pair of bellows. We normally use them to fire up the forge. It's operated using the... Now the forge can be heated up. Ow, hot! It was a fantastic idea to cover the stone figures with brass. They look really precious. Tabit will be delighted. I'll take the hose with me. I've covered your figures with brass. Look at them now.
They look like they're made of gold. Superb. Now I can really ask a good price for them. Thank you, Fyodor.
About the camel leather.
Take it with you. The money from the gold figures will no doubt pay for it.
Thank you.
I thank you. Here, take a silver coin and buy something nice for yourself. Maybe some flowers for your girlfriend?
Uncle, thanks. See you later.
Yes. Till then, my boy.
These goods belong to the ships in the rear part of the harbour. As far as I know, there's currently a ban on setting sail due to the plague of corsairs. The repairs to the potholes seem to be a bit half-hearted. I don't care. What's that? Leftover cloth? Scraps? What's that? There used to be tar in there. Now it's empty. Someone has been trying to patch up their boat. There's a plank, nails, and a hammer. Someone has been trying to... That's Pedro, our neighbor, a fisherman by trade. Hello.
Hola.
Any luck?
Could be better. They're just too small. Further out, yes, there are some big ones, but here...
Your rod, what's it made of?
Willow, like any good fishing rod should be.
Exactly what I need.
There's no way I can lend it to you. I need it myself. If my boat wasn't broken, then perhaps, but otherwise... You're an inventor? Invent a fish-catching machine. I'd buy it immediately.
Maybe later. Did you say your boat is broken?
Yes, took a real battering in the last storm.
Perhaps I can repair it. I'll take a look. This Inquisition ship, so why is it berthed here?
It can't be for anything good. Wherever these soldiers turn up, they only spread fear and terror.
Yes, you can only hope to be spared their attentions.
Don't worry. They're only looking for people who are on their list. If they were after you, you'd have received a visit by now.
Adios.
Adios.
Is that the plank for the boat?
Yes, but I haven't found the right mixture for waterproofing it.
What's that? Leftover cloth? That's Pedro the fisherman's boat. That's the leaky spot, and there are some very fine fibres coming through the layer of tar that's crumbling off. The shipyard has long been abandoned. Since the discovery of the New World, there's hardly been any use for it. Thousands of workers are needed on the Atlantic coast to build up the Spanish Armada. Most of the shipbuilders moved out of Barcelona ages ago. A vat of melted butter. I guess something fragile was transported in that, and now the butter has melted in the sun. I'm not going to get my fingers all greasy. Soldiers of the Inquisition. You used to only see soldiers of the Spanish Armada here, especially since the corsairs started marauding the sea. The Spanish Inquisition ship, a galleon, darker and bigger than the trading ships that are normally docked here. What's not yet clear to me is why it's been anchored here for the last few days. The city's slurry pool. How can fish survive in this soup? Those will be the fibers that seal the boat together with the tar. I guess they're flax fibers. The planks have been replaced, but the boat is still far from waterproof. I've pushed the fibers deep into the cracks. There is even some left over. That's a bowl of wood tar. Ramon sticks his old stones together with it. Ramon, may I interrupt you for a moment?
What is it, Fyodor?
One of the Inquisition ships is in the harbour. What can they be looking for here? Hopefully not our workshop.
You spend all day worrying on, and they always bypass the workshop. Maybe it's time to let it all go. Pack my bags and be gone.
I could do with the tar now.
Yes, take it.
Thanks. Don't you still need it for the mask?
I'm going to do that later. I have to get on with this piece of crystal right now.
Of course. The crystal fragment. I'll be off then. The tar and the fibers seal the planks perfectly. Hello.
Hola.
The boat is mended and ready for action.
Thank you, Fyodor. If you see Sylvia, then tell her I'll soon be bringing home some real fish.
Yes, I'll do that. Do you still need your fishing rod?
No. When I go out with the boat, I fish with a net. Do you want it?
The willow would be really useful for me.
Then take it. Here.
Thanks. Adios.
Adios.
Hello, Sylvia.
Morales, haven't I told you you shouldn't be seen here?
I'm an honest inventor, not a heretic.
The Inquisition doesn't see any difference there. So, what can I do for you? Has Pedro got drunk and fallen into the harbor again?
I'm supposed to tell you from your husband that there are going to be some proper fish here soon.
Proper fish? Don't make me laugh. And what should I do with those? He just sits boozing on the quayside, and I have to do all the work. I've had enough of that loser.
If you want to get rid of fishing rods, I'll be happy to take them off your hands. Thanks. Do you know why the Inquisition ship's been moored here these past few days?
To catch up on the numbers, I'm thinking.
Catch up on the numbers?
For their torture chambers. I've heard that the people die like flies on those stretching racks. And now, disappear, Morales, or else when they come for you, they'll take me as well.
Good day to you. The hose fits exactly in the hole. The heat of the midday sun is trapped under the awnings. I'll cut a few holes in the end of the hose. That should keep the cloth damp and cool down the air underneath. This invention will let you keep the material over your stall quite damp, and that will cool the air beneath it. You don't even have to leave your stall, just press here.
Oh, that really does seem to work. And it doesn't go against our Christian faith either, does it?
If God had wanted you to suffer heat stroke, then he wouldn't have sent me along, now would he? So, what about the basket? Can I have it? That big one, please.
For 2 pieces of silver, not a problem.
We agreed I could have one for 1 silver.
A basket, yes, but not that big one.
All right then, I'll just take my invention with me and sell it to someone else.
Right then. I'll deliver it to your workshop.
Thank you very much. On the roof, please. Inquisition soldiers at Uncle Tabbitt's place. Hopefully they only want to buy something. I think I've got everything I need for the new flying machine. Let's go up to the roof. If I could use the ropes to fasten the wickerwork to a frame. Done it! And now if I secure the leather to the frame. Yes, it could just work like that. Now secure the net to the frame. Building such a construction on the roof is dangerous. It could easily be seen. But up here it's a simple case of there being enough room. I've also just fixed the wings with it. The basket is definitely big enough for Ramon, and the wings should keep him up in the air. The workshop is directly under. The stitches are well sealed. I really have thought of everything. Now all I need to do is pump the air and then up and away. The Count will be satisfied and Da Vinci will know my name. Theodore Morales, inventor of the first flying machine. What should I call the machine? It needs a name. Camel leather balloon, sky ball, or the cloaked airship? Well, I'll definitely come up with something else. Now I'll connect the end of the hose to the hull. The other end of the hose can hang down through the hatch and will definitely reach into the workshop. I'll leave him to work on his artifacts. There's no point. I'll leave him to work on his artifacts. There's no point anyway. He's lost in his thoughts. That would make the air connection. Now I just have to convince Ramon to give me a hand. Ramon, may I interrupt you for a moment?
What is it, Theodore?
Ramon, you have to work the bellows down here. I have to go up onto the roof to see whether it's working.
You fastened 20 pig bladders into that flying machine? Believe me, the only thing you can do with that is swim, nothing more.
No, I've built a hull which is much larger than a pig bladder. Much, much bigger, with 1,000 times more air. That you're going to pump in. Come on, now I really do need your help.
I am helping you. This piece of crystal here is the key to our fortune.
Wrong. The key to our fortune is this set of bellows here. If this works, our workshop is saved.
Forget the workshop. This piece of crystal will take us back to where we belong, and there we can open a new workshop, a much bigger one.
Why bigger? I'll just be happy enough not to lose this one.
Once I have found the city gate from where this piece of crystal has come, then you'll see what I've been talking about all this time.
Damn it, Ramon, I don't know what you're talking about. I do know, though, that the water's rising and we'll soon be in it up to our necks. Just wake up, will you? Get yourself back into the real world.
I've never, ever been closer to the real world. I can almost see the city in front of me. Its walls are white.
Go then. Get going and seek out your accursed painted city.
Which of these two is the one?
It's that one there, Ramon.
What do you want with him?
Ramon Morales, in the name of the Inquisition, you are under arrest.
What?
What? You can't do this. This isn't what we discussed.
Leave him alone.
Do not resist.
Stop! Let go! Let my brother go! Damn you!
Theodore, don't.
Shut your face.
Ow! What's happened? Where's Ramon?
Stay calm, Theodore. You have to keep calm.
They've taken him off with them. Something to do with our flying attempts? What have they done with him?
They've taken him on board their ship.
Onto the ship? But why? Is the Count behind this? Did he bring this about?
No, Theodore. It has nothing to do with the Count or your flying attempts.
Well then, Uncle Tabit, do you know something?
They wanted to know for whom I had procured the crystal, and I led them to Ramon. If I hadn't done that, he'd still be here.
The soldiers came because of the crystal. The artifact you recently brought for Ramon.
I thought I was doing him a favor with it. Instead...
That damn thing! I knew it could only bring trouble upon us. Uncle Tabit, just what am I supposed to do?
I don't know that either, my boy.
What is it about that piece of crystal? What do you know about it?
It's all my fault. I shouldn't have told them that Ramon collects those things.
Uncle Tabbit, please stop blaming yourself. Rather tell me exactly what you said to the soldiers.
They only wanted to have the artifact. Wanted to know whom I had brought it for. And then, when they saw it in the middle of Ramon's collection...
So where did you get the thing from?
I don't know anymore. From some market on my travels. It just reminded me so much of what your mother wore when I first got to know her 20 years ago in Tripoli. That's how I first came up with getting it for Ramon.
Our mother owned a crystal like that. Maybe they think that Ramon knows more about it than he does. We have to get him out of there. Why did they take Ramon? What do they think he might know?
It certainly has something to do with your past. With your mother.
Our mother? How then?
I didn't tell you the whole truth about her. After your birth, it wasn't the plague that killed her. She died, burned at the stake.
Burned at the stake? Then she was taken by the soldiers of the Inquisition.
Not by the soldiers. By the current Grand Inquisitor personally.
Was she a witch?
She was the sweetest woman I have ever known. And she loved you too, above all else.
And you think Ramon is also going to die at the stake? Why?
I don't know, Fyodor. I believe it is for you to find out.
Uncle Tabbit, I have to get on board that ship somehow.
That's much too dangerous. You have no idea. Just keep well away from it, my boy.
No, I have to know what's going on with Ramon, and you're coming with me.
May Allah be with us. Right then, let's go to the harbor.
Get out of here. Nothing for you to earn here today.
Sure. You two look like you could use a little laugh.
Shh. What now?
I have to get in there somehow. The question being how.
If I can do anything, just say so.